I watched you on another podcast recently, and I know you talked about your dad's kind of influence on your life, and I know he passed away when you were younger.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can tell us like what impact that had on you as a person, and maybe how that translated into your music journey?
Yeah. It's funny because I was so young. Funny is not the right word, but there's so many things that you don't realize happen when it happens until later. I was 13 years old. It was very sudden. It was a motorcycle accident. And I remember a lot of the reactions to me from the adults around me were just like, they were constantly checking up on me, which makes sense. But part of it was because I did think I cried maybe once, and I was very close with my dad. It's not like I was, I didn't care. I think you don't really know how to fully process that kind of thing. He was the influence that got me into music and had me interested to the point where I would play and want to perform. He never got to see me perform. And so I would start writing or play a show, and it would like hit me because all those things would bring me back to like, man, when did I even start playing? And I would like remember a time with my dad. And I mean, I'm constantly thinking about that aspect because it's really like he really planted so much of who I am in my personality and in my life in those 13 years. And rather than being able to have a conversation about something I'm going through in life now, I kind of have to go back to like what he taught me when I was a kid and maybe transfer that to adulthood, which isn't always possible. You only learn so much in those first 13 years,
Right,
but I can say it was a lot. He did so much in that time. So I kind of reflect on that when I'm, not only just music, but as a dad and as a husband. And I do often wish I had that father figure around, there are definitely moments where I'm like, I can feel that lack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think just even as men in general, sometimes like processing our emotions can be difficult.
For sure.
Expressing them can be really difficult. Like I remember growing up as a very emotional child. Like I was crying a lot as a child, probably more than normal, but I was always like sensitive in the spirit. And really until I started moving in the faith, did I really understand like what that like spiritual discernment was and that sensitivity was.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was almost as a guy kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost like reprimanded for being so emotional as a child. And I feel like that caused me to kind of like suppress it in a way a lot, to the point where now as an adult, I was kind of like more hardened, and it was really kind of hard for me to like access like those emotions.